introduce the swing one more time. Thank you guys for being here for the aerial yoga play program. I'm super excited for this weekend to start out the teacher training for Ashland. We're going to go over the equipment again. You'll notice that there's daisy chains suspended from the ceiling, and every daisy chain has, every 4 inches, a notch or a bar tack where you get to change the height. So we can move the swing up and down so that it can be suitable for people of different heights. So this is a standard ceiling, anywhere from 8 to 10 feet. The daisy chains will be long enough. After that, we just extend it with either double daisy chains or ropes. So we have 4 carabiners, 2 for the swing, and then the handholds are also holding on here. And then we have 2 for the leg loops. So what we want to do is get the swing in a comfortable position, and we're going to start out with the yoga translations, 1 through 4, and this is restorative. So first day, the basic training is a nice restorative practice, and I'm going to turn around so you can see me here as well. Like Sam just said, it feels way better if you get the swing below the bra strap, quote unquote. So at the bottom of the ribs, you get the swing nice and low to begin. When you sit straight down, you have to really drop your weight, drop your hips. You can also, if you want to think of tucking your pubic bone under so that you're not pushing your pubic bone forward, that is how you can really get the maximum length. Now, once I have the swing nice and low, I use my forearms to press, and then this is going to hook the swing into a comfortable position, so there's really no pressure on the underarms. If you do this and let the swing sink up and let your shoulders come up to your ears, it's going to pinch off the circulation down your arms and it isn't quite as nice. Okay, so let's go over that one more time. So I'm going to stay facing away for just one more moment so you can see. So the swing is nice and low. It's towards the bottom of the ribs. I sit straight down and then I use my forearms to hook, engage the shoulders. Just try that. See if you can get that nice long line of energy. And then everybody needs to drop their hips. Everybody needs to drop their hips a lot. Yeah, perfect. That looks great, guys. How does that feel? A little bit better? Yeah, thanks, Ben, for testing it out and picking your feet up to make sure you're not cheating. And so we use the round mats to inspire the movements. And so we're going to use the shape of the mats to inform the position of the feet. So I want to come into what is called a sumo squat. We're going to take our arms and press in. We're going to turn our toes out 45 degrees. Okay, and the front toes will touch the front of the mat. Great. Now, if we're directly underneath our plumb line, drop your hips a lot. Just take your feet up for a second. There you go. Okay. Thank you. So walk your toes here. Good. So heels in, right, toes out, heels in slightly, and then your hips press straight down like that. Now, why I'm emphasizing, that looks great. Why I'm emphasizing that position of just going to help you roll your pelvis under like that. So we want to traction the spine out of the pelvis to create space in between the vertebrae. I'll say that like a gazillion times because that's really what we want to emphasize when we're working with someone is how to traction the spine out of the pelvis in order to create more space in between the vertebrae. That practice, you doing okay there, Sam, next to me? Okay, thank you. That practice of tucking the pubic bone under and letting the hips hang, you'll feel the space starting to open up along the love handles. You know, that upper iliac crest will start to loosen. If we're pushing up like this, we're missing out on that awesomeness. So we really want to tuck our pubic bone under. So most people will be like this, and then you want to deepen in the hip flexors, and actually push your hips back behind you. And therefore, you're going to get that nice long arch in the lumbar, and we're going to start to initiate the back bend from the upper thoracic from there. That looks great. Does that feel okay? Mm-hmm. That's great. Yeah, it should start to feel really good after that stickiness loosens up. I call it stickiness, but it's all of the connective tissue, the fascia. So the first thing we're going to do, we're just going to jump in now, if you guys are good. Feel free to ask any questions, even if I'm recording it. This is your time, so because we have this nice, small, intimate group, we can chat in as long as it's about the practice and really get deeper into the specifics of it. So when I have a bigger group, I don't have the luxury of doing that. But since it's us, we can ask questions and talk about it and get the whole experience. You will notice that I gave you guys all an outline. We're going to follow the outline. Today for the basic training, we're going to focus on the yoga translations. Okay, we're only going to get through 1 through 4, which doesn't sound like a lot, but once we get started, you'll realize that there's lots and lots of details that we're going to focus on. And so I call it aerial yoga play so that you can feel the movements in multidimensional space, adjust anytime you need. And then I call it yoga because we're going to do the yoga translations. And I call it play because I want you to just learn how to experience and explore the body in a new way. So the play is actually what loosens up the connective tissue. In yoga, sometimes we can be kind of tight about it. So this really helps us to just relax into some of the poses. I call it engage but relax. Okay, engage but relax. And you'll hear these terms quite often. I will repeat myself so that it'll become second nature. So this is side lunging. We're just going to sway from side to side and start to open up the hips. Now if you keep your feet nice and wide, you just walk them a little bit wider, really good, then you'll have the room to push back and then let yourself swing around. Now most of the time, I'm going to have us move in a mandala shape. So we're actually going to all do the same leg. So we're going to bend the right knee and pause. Yep, and so you guys will be the opposite. Thank you. It'll take a moment for the brain to figure it out, and then left knee and pause. So yeah, just think of spinning the energy in the space. Sometimes we mirror, other times we spin. And if there's any confusion, we'll switch it up. And just hang out there and pulse. Can you guys feel the hips starting to open? Okay, and go ahead and bend the right knee and pause again. So yeah, are you good? Ben is good. Okay. I figured out finally how to switch my brain chemistry to teach backwards, and now I'm gonna have to teach. I know. we'll just call it blue wall and light or something after a while until we forget the left and right. All right, push straight back, wide legs still. Open up the arms. We're gonna go ahead and release our palms towards the sky. Come into an upper thoracic back bend, right? So you're gonna push your hips up, but you're also going to keep the legs nice and engaged so the upper body can release back. And then bring your arms straight back behind you. Bend the elbows. This is called chillaxin arms. And we're just going to sway it out a little from side to side. Really gentle micro movements. This is how you get the swing down the back. As you push into a back bend, lift your heart towards the sky, and the swing will slide down a little bit into the sweet spot. So it is a little bit easier on the connective tissue and the skin when we begin to have another layer on. So I make these little shirts, which I call bubbies, that really help just give a little bit of cushion as we're getting used to hanging by our underarms. Let's go ahead and bend the left knee and bring the left elbow towards the knee, but also at the same time keep that back bend. Okay, hang out there and take a breath. So supported back bends. So push back, bend the right knee, bring the right elbow towards the knee, just gently towards it. You're not going to go too far. Beautiful. And then press straight back. So this is the supported back bend, and then when you open up the arms wide, it's called star. Right? And then we're going to exhale, go ahead and press into the forearms again. Go ahead and inhale back to center and just take a moment to sway in the sumo squat. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and come out for a second. Open up your outline so you can follow along on the second page. You'll see yoga translations 1 through 4. So the first one are squats, lunges, and back bends. So we just did the squat, we just did the lunges from side to side, and then we just did the back bend. So this is how I usually start with every class. So first of all, not only when we do the sumo squat are we measuring the swing to make sure it's at the right height for them, but we're getting them suspended. We're getting them into their first suspension. Now there's 2 ways to suspend the spine. Okay, I'm going to just go backwards so you can see me again. So there's the upright position, where the swing is behind the upper back, and we drop our hips, and you can really start to feel the length happening. And then the other, which we will learn tomorrow, are the inversions. And the inversions is when the swing is at the waist, we wrap our legs around, and we're suspended upside down. So the spine is still tractioning out of the pelvis, but gravity is assisting with our weight coming towards the earth from the crown of the head. Those are our 2 main suspension for the spine. Now, inversions are a little bit more advanced. Not the average person can flip upside down unless they remember being a monkey. So we want to work them into the more intermediate and advanced poses slowly. So the first one anybody can do is the sumo squat. Okay? So from the sumo squat, let's all do it one more time. Again, we'll be very repetitive and everybody's on that page. So we're just going to use that visual cue to start to get the names. So from our sumo squat, we're just going to keep our forearm pressed so we can get used. Tuck your feet, very good, Sam. And then we're going to do our lunges from side to side. So after we turn our toes out, we bring our feet nice and wide. You can actually go a little bit off the mat since you're nice and long bent. Yeah, like that. Good. And then we're just going to sync up if we can. Nice. You guys are doing great with the mandala formation. And just start to feel the spin and the energy in the room. Right? I love working with the mandalas when we get into the spins and the spirals. We're actually creating our own turtle force field when we do that. Beautiful, guys. Very nice. So after we do the lunges, then we're going to keep our feet nice and wide. We're going to open up. So open up the arms, palms towards the sky in the gesture of receptivity. So this is our star, version of star. And then when we bend the elbows, same back bend, we just use chillaxing arms to support the neck. Now, not everybody has like the core strength and the openness to come into a full back bend. So the arms are here to really support the body to open gently. So can you feel the upper thoracic initiating the back bend here? The arch and opening from there.
You're still dropping your pelvis.
My pelvis is pushed up towards the sky.
You are pushing your pelvis up.
So this is dropped, this is pushed up.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's not this. So most people will go like that, and so that's pushing the pelvis up and opening up the rib cage. What I'm wanting to do, and that's a good question, Sam, is I'm trying to create a diagonal. So if I was a little further out, I would be pointing my head to the corner of the room. So I'm creating a diagonal with the body. Okay? And then from there, letting the head sink back into the hands and the heart open towards the sky. Okay? Now, from here, I usually come into like a little gentle side bend. So this is how we open up the side body. So we can do this with straight legs if we were going to be really, really tiny about the micro movements. We don't want to crunch anywhere. We're lengthening out. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and bend the left knee, bring the left elbow in that direction. Push the right foot down strongly so you can open up. Press straight back. Let's go ahead and bend right knee out. Right elbows are going to move in that direction. Beautiful, guys. If it feels good, you're in the right place. Just kind of see it as that way of working with all levels so somebody doesn't go too far in effort into it. So I want you to just do this one more time with me. Go ahead and keep the right knee bent. So you're going to come back on the diagonal a little bit more. Push into that left foot. Yeah, lean back so your heart's towards the sky. Yeah. Keep this leg straight. And now the elbow can come over that way. Is that okay? Good. Yeah. Does that feel good? Great. So we want to keep the opposite leg straight so that we can see you're collapsing forward a little bit more than I was like say back. Yeah, and then it's a march. Yeah, there you go. Really good. So I won't go into excruciating details on alignment because my background's in NSAR and those kind of things where I love alignment. But we really want to focus on the play in the basic training, and then when we get more intricate into the advanced stuff, then I will add more alignment pieces. But most people I work with have some sort of yoga training of some sort, some background, so they know. But if somebody is, for example, like this, and unless we're in Baddha Konasana and specifically doing, we always want to keep right angles in the body. So I always tell people to walk their toes forward instead of being like this, where they're straining the knee joint even though we're suspended. Because then if you try to go into your lunges, you don't have any room. So even in the lunges, I try to walk my feet out a little bit wider. So even though the knee is tracking over the toes, we're not compressing with any weight. So the knee joint, we keep all the joints nice and safe while we play. And we keep the shoulders open and rolling down the back. And we let our chest start to blossom. So all the poses are heart-opening poses. Most people lead with their head and And so we want to make sure that we're encouraging the heart to open and this expansion happen in the chest, and therefore we're redesigning the posture. Okay, so let's go ahead and push back, and then we're going to heel toe our feet together, so straight legs. We're going to bring our feet towards the front of the mat. Okay, good. There we go. So we're going to work a lot with plumb line, with the safety of anchors and holds. So we always want to have at least one anchor, right? So our anchor point is under the arms right now. So if we bring our arms through center, we're going to lose our anchor point. Don't do it. So that's a no-no. Okay, so there'll be certain poses where I'll have you reach for the leg loop and people will go like this, which means they just lost their anchor, which means they can fall out. So we really want to emphasize where the anchor points and the holds are for each pose, so that way we get used to looking for it in people. Obviously, you're not going to go too far in this one, but I have had people slide out, and I'm like, really? Really? As monkeys, we should remember to always hug and hold on. And the wraps are always outside in. Just think outside in. What would that look like? So we're hugging around the swing. So from here, with the feet together, we're going to go ahead and open our arms again. Make sure you get a chance to let this slide down the back a little bit more. Do you see how different mine is? Mine is like below the bra strap. So go ahead and get it low.
I think that's lower.
Yeah. Yeah. And then go ahead and use your forearm press. So our arms are strong and pushing away. Now we're going to inhale. Let's go ahead and lift the right leg. So we're going to be reversed. Go ahead and roll into the outer edge of the left. Flex the left toes back. Bottom foot is the left foot. Flex your toes back on the left. The bottom foot. Flex it. Yes, there we go. And now step, twist. Okay? Awesome. So we step and twist, and then our gaze is going to go back over the right. If you guys get too confused, we can just mirror each other here. We'll say it both ways. So gaze, go back over the right. Yes. Now drop the hips a lot. Remember, the dropping of the hips is where we open up. So yes, drop a lot. Now stay here so I can come over and give you guys some adjustments so we can really get into the pose. That looks good. Let me just start with you since you're across from me. Now I just want you to walk your foot a little bit further up towards your hip and out. There you go. So you have this nice right ankle here and right ankle here. You guys can adjust after you see that. Flexing the bottom foot back so that we're aligning the ankle joint with the hip joint. And then the pose is just dropping straight down towards the earth. This is the opening. Isn't that amazing? And then your gaze is away from your knee, so back towards your elbow here. Okay, so it's like a reclining twist on the floor. It would look like this, right? That's what we're doing in the swing. Nice. So straight bottom leg, always straight here. Nice long lines of energy, and then just pull this foot up a little bit higher. Perfect. And now this is the stretch. So we're going to inhale and pulse. Come on out gently. No. Stay. Just lift up, and then yeah. So keep your right angle, see if you can find it. So we inhale, we lift our hips just slightly, and exhale your head and drop it. Beautiful. That looks great. Does that feel okay? Yeah. So if you want to push in with your forearms a little bit more, that'll help you lift your sternum up. Really nice, guys. So how can we find the engaged but relaxed, right? So where can the body engage and where can it relax to go deeper? Beautiful, guys. One more time, inhale, just lift slightly, and then exhale, let the hips sink in. Do you guys feel that amazing stretch through the side body? So incredible. So go ahead and lift that right leg up, step it forward. You're gonna go ahead and change sides. So I usually just like to pause and hang. Straight legs, just wiggle it out. Sometimes people's feet won't stay down, so you can flex them back. Drop a lot, drop your hips. That's it. Okay. Walk your feet forward a little bit more. There you go. There it is. Good. Yeah. Go ahead and press your feet down. It's just, I'm used to visually seeing it in a way, so it still looks good. Just give you that chance. So this is, Sam in particular, I want you to really open up here, get the swing down. That's how you can adjust. Good. And every back bend we do just feels amazing too. So back bends is like washing it out. Beautiful guy. Guys, come back into the forearm press. Go ahead and lift. Left knee up. roll into the outer edge of the right foot. Go ahead and step. Step. Go ahead, see if you can find the alignment. It's pretty common for people to have their foot really close to the inline and by the knee. So we want to bring it up and out. So think of right angles everywhere, just like you would a twist on the ground. And then go ahead and look back over the left shoulder. So you guys are going to look that way. And then go ahead and lift your hips gently. Inhale there. And then exhale, drop it in. Drop it. Just ease into it. Keep the forearm press. Good. Inhale, lift. Exhale, sink in. Fantastic. That looks great. Inhale, lift. Pulse with the breath. Exhale, drop in. That's awesome. You guys feel it? So good. Okay, go ahead and pull that foot back up to center. Straight legs. Wash it out. Inhale, arms open wide. Exhale, overhead. Fullest expression. And then inhale, clasp your hands behind the neck. And then exhale, just drop in for our chillaxin arms. So chillaxin arms is with the hands clasped behind the neck, elbows flaring out wide, and then we're going to come into a bigger version of the weeping willow. Now notice when the feet are together, we're spiraling around a single pivot point, and we have a little bit more play. So I call it swagger whenever we sway from side to side, so we have more swagger in the swing. Yeah, so if we can sync up, this is great. If we have a little bit of bumper car action, we'll just apologize in advance. Sometimes we will, want to synchronize them, and other times it's okay to just have some freestyle. So just let that feel good. Let your upper body sway in the wind. Really relax, strong foundation through the legs. Really good, guys. Okay, so that was another back bend with the feet together that we just practiced. We practiced a twist, and now we're going to practice another lunge. So we're going to inhale, arms over wide. Exhale, forearm press. Inhale, go ahead. You guys want to just mirror over there? You guys okay? Okay. Right knee up. Shoot it back. Toes stay tucked under. You have a preference of lowering your toes, but I like them tucked under. And then bend the left knee forward. Beautiful. So forward lunge, right? Forearm press, really important here. Swing's going to ride up a little bit, but it's okay. So we're going to inhale and arch up over it. Imagine you're trying to arch your back up over a bar. Yes. So much so that that back knee might lift up off the ground. So we're going to come into a supported back bend in our lunge here. After the next exhale, go ahead and just drop down. Rest. Straight up and down. Does that feel amazing? You get this amazing stretch through the quad, through the hip flexor, through the psoas, through the belly, and then you get that rotation of the thoracics. So go ahead and inhale and lift. Press, press, press with the arms. Press a lot. So Sam, look at me for a second. Yeah. And then exhale, go ahead and drop down.
Yeah, this feels fine too. It's like the mousse is good with like just kind of.
Yeah, some people like to hold on as well. If you want to change the arm position, that's fine. All you need to remember is keep your hook. You have to keep your elbows on the outside. So I wouldn't teach a beginner to straighten their arms because that could easily happen.
Yeah, I feel like you got that. I'm riding that edge.
And you're a little bit more experienced, but the last thing we want to do is have somebody get a little nervous or scared because they came flopping out unexpectedly because they don't know where their elbows are in space. So yeah, so let's try the way I'm teaching it, and then feel free to make variations when you're at home playing. So go ahead, one more time. Inhale, lift. So Sam, we're going to press our arms in so strongly that the bottom knee lifts instead of lifting the bottom leg. Does that make sense? So press in, and then that leg just naturally pick that knee up. And then exhale, lower down. Yeah, nice. So really good. So we're going to straighten the front leg, straighten the left leg. Right knee is going to match the left. Pause there. And then as we switch sides, these are the transitions, which I consider poses. We inhale, pick the left knee up, shoot it back, bend the right knee forward, drop in for the forward lunge. Really good. Nice. Okay, so this I want you guys to practice is engaging your lats. So that's how the shoulders come down the back. So engage your lats. So pull your shoulders down away from your ears. But now move the hands. So watch me. So this is up. This is down. Yeah. pull the shoulders down, not up. So most people don't even know that this part of their body exists until they have a swing to be like, what, where? And then again, we just get used to it in time, it'll come. So let's go ahead and inhale and arch, press our forearms in strongly. That might just go ahead and pick the bottom knee up, and then exhale, drop in and relax. So we take time to relax in between the poses so we don't tire or strain the muscles. Inhale, go ahead and lift and press. Strong stretch to the quad and psoas. Exhale, go ahead. All the way down. So I'm going to show you how you can come into the fullest expression. This would not be for the basic folks, by the way, but you can actually start to press back so much and straighten the front leg that you can bring your head towards your left foot. And that would be the biggest expression. If you're not wanting to go that far, go ahead and straighten both legs out. We're going to come into our relaxing arms and just neutralize the spine in the supported back bend. Really good, guys. Nice deep breaths. So pause in between the poses so we can let the body integrate. So we could basically stay on number 1 for an hour and do all kinds of variations with Warrior 2 and incorporating the leg loops and all that, but we're just going to move on to the second of the yoga translations, which is forward folds. And I'll give you guys more examples in the workshops of how we can do supported back bends and coming into more different variations of twists and lunges and stuff. Does everybody feel good about number 1? Yeah. So go ahead and walk your feet out into a sumo squat. We'll come back to our start position. This is another way I like to twist a little from side to side. For me, everything's intuitive. Toes stay turned out, and we're rotating in the hip joint. So notice my pelvis is rotating from side to side. It's kind of like more like belly dancing moves that our hips that are tight aren't used to, these non-linear movements. So let me come over and just help you guys a little, if you don't mind me getting personal. But I'm just going to help you twist, so relax, and then this one deepens. Yeah, that's it. And then drop this one and this one. Yeah, that's it. So just try that without turning the knees in. See if you can get it. So yeah, the pelvis, well, no, not quite, but so deepen in both hip flexors, drop down. So, okay, so this one's going to stay, and then this one's going to rotate a little bit in. It's going to stay like that. It takes a little bit to get it. So knees stay open wide the whole time. A little bit more, sumo squat. Okay, relax the feet. So this one turns in, but watch the knees stay. So keep the knees wide, the knees don't move. Just let it come from the pelvis. Yeah, like that.
I'm dropping my hip.
No? You can think of it that way. Good. Does that feel totally different? Yeah, we're isolating the hip joints, which is really hard for people to do without moving their knees. See how my knees aren't really flopping in? So what I'm doing is I'm deepening one hip and then pushing the other one out. And then I'm deepening the opposite hip and pushing the hip out. See how my knee is going out on a diagonal instead of dropping in? So what happens is if our hips are tight, we wind up straining the knee joint. The knee is a hinge. It's not a ball and socket. So as soon as we drop the knee in, I've had multiple knee surgeries, so I've learned how to really start to open and loosen the pelvis. That's beautiful. And start, yes, there it is. You feel it?
Yeah.
Isn't that amazing? So this is how we can come into really gentle rocking motions and twists in the swing to start to loosen up that stickiness in the pelvis, which will release the lower back and the sacrum. Nice. Does that feel good? You getting it? Yeah, it's just totally different. So we can do twists like this too, which is really fun. Okay, let's walk our feet out a little bit wider. We're going to push our chest forward, sink our hips back, keep the elbows bent, and you're going to hook at the elbow crease. Yeah. So now we're coming into number 2A, forward folds, swing at the elbows, and this is our wide straddle. Now in yoga, we turn our heels out and our toes in. So go ahead and switch your feet to heels out, toes in. We want to be in the center of the mat. So Sam, why don't you go ahead and pull your mat back so it's right underneath you. You can get creative with how to do that. I always try to do that. Just hop forward and back. All right.
No,
So
and we want to find plum. Am I getting that?
Exactly. So this is peppermint patty. This is not the pose. This is wide straddle forward fold where our hips are directly over our ankle bones. Does that make sense? So if we're leaning forward, we're out from underneath our plumb line, so we stay right underneath our plumb line. Hi.
I can't remember if we're switching now or
No,
in an hour.
I figured that's why I changed this format so that we don't have to switch if you're okay with it.
Okay, sounds good.
We're gonna go until about 3:30 and then take a break and then we'll quickly switch over for the workshop.
Okay, sounds
So we'll
good.
use the other one for workshops. Sorry about that, guys. Okay, wide straddle forward tilts. Heels out, toes in. Toes in, toes out. Yes, there you go. Okay, first thing we do is we just sway from side to side. So the same kind of twisting motion. So it's not just a linear motion, we're letting our gaze trace the shape of the mat. So we're spinning towards our right foot, and then we pause. Spin towards the left foot, and pause. Can you guys start to feel the semicircular shape that's happening in the body? So not just side to side, but really incorporating those same circles and those twists with the side to side to open up the spirals.
It's a little side bend at the end.
Yes, exactly. Not so much that there's compression, but that the swing is, the momentum of the swing is actually going to carry you back. It's like a rubber band then. You guys feel that, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. So now what we're going to do is we're going to start to open up the twist. Let's go ahead and release the right hand down towards the ear. Keep the left arm nice and strong. So the elbow hook twist. So my hand's directly underneath my gaze, so my spine stays nice and long. Okay, I'm going to twist up and look towards the left. I pull down strongly with the left fist. So my top arm is really what's initiating the twist. And then if my gaze is just going up towards the sky, unless the neck is unhappy, you can always look down. If you can, wring out the spine here. Take a nice long inhalation, and then exhale, just let your gaze come back down to your right hand and pause. So we'll do that 3 more times. And again, this is just a nice beginner therapeutic practice to start to twist and open up the spine. Inhaling, look up. Exhale, go ahead and gaze back down towards your hand. One more time, inhale, look up, twist. So the more I pull down with the left, the deeper the twist. So I'm going to exhale, I'm going to look back through center. So to change sides, what we're going to do is straighten the left arm towards the sky. Yes. Very good. Straighten the top arm. There you go. Now I'm going to spin the swing overhead. So when I spin it, there'll be an X in the swing. Go ahead and pick up the right hand and thread it through. Beautiful, guys. So now we come into a nice shoulder stretch here. Arms overhead. So we're going to do some presses. So for people with any sort of injury or discomfort in the shoulders, you can bend the elbows a lot. Everybody just bend the elbows and try it. So there's less strain on the elbow, on the shoulder joint. And then to straighten the arms, it's a little bit more dynamic strength and engagement. Okay? So we're going to inhale and press the arms down towards the ground and start to lift our chest. Come up about halfway. And then we're going to exhale, lower back down, let the chest fall towards the earth. Pause at the bottom to get the shoulder stretch really good. Inhale, press and come up. Only use your arms, try not to use your back. We're going to build the arm strength and the openness in order to get into some of the acrobatics later. So we're going to build it while we're on the ground. Inhaling up. Exhale, go ahead and lower back down, nice and slow. That way when we do it in the air, the arms can support us and have stability. Now we're going to come all the way to stand. All right. Go ahead and release the right arm. We're going to thread it over top. We get the exhale and then lower the left towards the ground. Really good, guys. Okay. So now we're going to do second side. We inhale and we lengthen, twist, look towards the sky. Pull down strongly with that right arm, and then exhale, go ahead and drop it. Pause there. Inhale, twist. Lengthen and look up. Exhale, back down. One more time. Inhale, lengthen and twist. Pulling down strongly. Gaze towards the sky. Exhale, go ahead and relax. Looking down towards your left hand. Go ahead and straighten the right arm. You'll hook the swing. And This time when we twist it overhead, there's no X. Both hands will grab, bend the elbows a lot. We'll do a little bit of a different stretch here. So the first one I like to do is get some swag going. So after we do a little bit of semicircular shape, the spiral, we're going to come to center. Now for somebody who is not looking for the arm strength, they can just hang and get the shoulder opener. But to get the dynamic strength, we're going to inhale and press, 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 straighten the arms and come up. Exhale, bend the elbows and sink back down. It's more of a tricep curl this time. Keep your hips right over your ankles. Inhale, press, come on up. Press, press, press. Exhale, go ahead and sink in. Beautiful. Inhaling, press. Press and straighten the arms. Good. You feel that lift through your belly? So amazing. Exhale down. So this is how we would do more of the Pilates version or TRX where people want that strengthening. And it's really good for the flag that happens underneath the arm. It starts to strengthen all that. You guys feel that underbelly of the arm? We don't have to wave our flags anymore. All right, inhale, press, come to stand. Really good. Heel toe the feet together and take a little break. Are you guys okay to go through one more sequence? And then we're going to have 20 more minutes and then we'll have a pause. In the workshop, we'll still go over everything we did, in the training. So we'll just review as well as add on, and then you'll see how I piece all the sequencing together. So for you guys with the swing that is like fresh, you can bring it down one if it feels too tall. But what we want to do is we want to get the swing at the hip flexors to come forward. Now, if you straighten your arms, it's in the right place. Right, you can even let yourself float and fly a little bit. Swim it out. Nice. You got it? Can you straighten the arms all the way? Press. There you go. That's it. So every body is based in sacred geometry. The swings are made specifically with sacred geometry in mind. So every body fits if they straighten their arms. So it's not the belly. It's not the bladder. It's the legs inserting into the pelvis where we bend. Okay? And then we're going to come forward. So when we come forward, we're going to go ahead and drape all of our weight towards the ground. Our arms are relaxed, so we're not using our arms to support our weight. And now we're learning how to bend at the hip flexors and keep the lower back happy. Most people are bending from their waist and straining their lumbar spine. So this is retraining the posture of how to create a deepening in the hip flexors and then lengthen through the legs from there. Beautiful, guys. So the first pose, and now we're moving into the forward folds 2B, is we're going to cross the elbows. And we're just going to hang.
So when I did it, I feel like if my feet were initially kind of forward,
Well,
and then I could let them slide or step back, and then I'm walking.
The feet are in the center of the mat. Just keep the feet right in the center of the mat for this one. Yeah, if you walk your feet forward or back, it changes the position. So let's just all stay centered so that way we're right underneath our plumb line. And we will have some variations. So good question. Okie dokie. Just take a breath there to feel the lengthening to happen. We want to feel the whole side body stretch. So let me do a little bit of adjusting. So feel free to stay. So there are a couple different ways that I do adjustments. I usually put my knees on the upper shoulders and I just kind of pull forward. So get your hands up off the ground, honey, and just let your body weight hang. Clasp your elbows. Keep your feet on the ground. Take your hands up. Release your hands. Clasp your elbows and hang. So I'm pulling the weight forward and I'm helping them deepen in the forward hold like this. Okay, if they lift their feet, they're missing out on that big stretch. So most people will let their feet lift and you just say, stay grounded. Even when you say lift their hands, they're going to lift their feet. It's okay. Just remember who we are when we go upside down. Just move this slightly to the side. Cool. So if the feet, if the swing is too high, it'll be hard for them to keep the feet on the ground. But I just like to, I'm leaning back, so there's no strain in my body, right? So I'm just coming into a little bit of arching and moving back. And therefore the hamstrings are starting to open. We want to energetically ground through the feet. So the heels should not touch. We should be leaning forward so much. That'll happen. We should be leaning forward so much that we're on the balls of the feet and not the heels. Okay? Does that feel good? Nice. So that helps us lift the sit bones towards the sky. We're not gonna fall. I know we feel like we're gonna, we're trained not to land on our head. So you don't want your heels touching. So you want to lean forward so much that you're on the balls of the feet. Don't move your feet back, just push forward. Does that make sense? At the same time, you're gonna lengthen through and ground, but you keep draping your weight forward. So literally your head is way closer to the ground than you would in a normal forward fold, right? It's amazing that our heads can be that close to the ground. And we start to feel how, I'll teach you guys more about the geometry of the body as we go along, but the length of the legs is the same as the length of the torso. So we want to start to bend from that place so we can get ourselves closer to the ground, keeping our feet where we are. Very good, guys. Release the clasp of the elbows, reach back through your ankles. And now I want you to really push your weight forward, so drape your weight towards the earth, let the crown of the head come down. And then I want you to just play with pulsing back and forth. So roll onto the toes and then let your heels rock back. Just rock back and forth a little bit. Keep pulling your weight forward and draping it down towards the ground. Really nice. So this is how we slowly and gently start to open up the back of the legs. Okay? Really good. Okay. For this next sequence, I'm going to have you guys bring your hands back down to the ground. You're going to walk yourself forward. You come up on a diagonal. So see if you can lift into angel wings and come on up. One at a time. One at a time. Just pick one. I know. They're just hugging it out. Okay. So come on up. Come on up, everybody. So I'm going to invite you guys to turn around, and we're all going to go in the same direction. And that way, when you're upside down, you'll be able to see me. You'll be able to see me still. So sometimes I'll turn around, right? But then you guys won't see me. So you guys turn around, and then when we're upside down, we'll all be facing the same way. Okay? So bring this swing all the way down low to your hips. Nice. Lean forward, come into your forward fold. Keep your feet on the ground, middle of the mat. So we're going to go from our holding onto the ankles, and then we're going to move into the, okay, so you're leaning forward so much that your head's towards the earth. So walk your feet back a little bit more, Sam. Okay, and then drape your weight all the way forward. Come onto the balls of the feet. Keep leaning forward. Keep leaning forward. Don't move your feet back. They're in the center of the mat. So find the center. So can I just help you again? Just let your weight drop. Don't move your feet, honey. Just let the weight drop. Yeah. So you can push into the balls of your feet a little bit more. Yeah, like that. There we go. See, you want your head to come to the ground as far as possible. Really good, guys. So same thing. So I want you to push onto the balls of your feet so your weight goes like this. Okay? Yeah. Cool. That looks great. It's okay? Okay, good. Now, this is a totally different pose. So after we get into our forward folds, we're going to have our forearms come down towards the earth. So release your ankles, right? Walk your feet to the back of the mat, because otherwise you're going to get a big sway. Forearms on the ground. Hands on the ground. Forearms on the ground. Okay? Forearms on the ground. Elbows. Forearms. Yes. Okay. And then your feet come up. Et voila. So I call this folded leaf, which is similar to one of the acro yoga poses, but it also turns into floating leaf sometimes. So it's a folded floating something or other. And I want your feet to be about a foot off the ground. So not so high that they're level with the hips, just heavy. Yeah, really good, guys. Good. And we're just going to pulse back and forth a little bit. Just let the massage of the hip flexors happen. It will be intense now that we release the swing from the underarms. We'll feel it in the next hub. Right? I work with the hub of the shoulders and the hub of the hips. And releasing the tension there. So just pulling yourself forward and back. Just to feel that rocking motion and sensation. Really good, guys. Nice deep breaths. And then we're going to sway a little bit from side to side. So see if you can bring your feet to one side and then the other side, just like you're tracing the semicircular shape of the mat. And just notice that that is a totally different sensation in the body. Right? Really good. Can you come down on your forearms a little bit more? Okay. You can just drop your upper body. Yeah. Good. So come back through neutral. We're going to let our feet land, start to straighten the hands, straighten the arms. So we're going to press back into a down dog. So all of a sudden from our forward fold, we have our feet towards the back of the mat. The hands can come off the front, especially if you're nice and long. Create a V shape in the body. So it's not a U, it's a V. So when we come into a V, we press our chest back towards our knees and our hands are nice and strong and engaged. So I call this happy dog when we just let our hips sway from side to side like you're wagging your tail. So just play with keeping the arms nice and strong and keep your hands where they are, but let your hips sway a little bit out from side to side. You'll feel that's a little bit more intense on the hip flexors, right? So only do it as much as it feels good for today. And then after you come through happy dog, come back through center, keep your hip distance. Heels are pulling down towards the earth energetically, but they're not going to touch. Okay? And then we're going to inhale. This is called a cat's meow. It's like a down dog and a cat-cow got together. We inhale and arch and look up onto the tippy toes. Beautiful. Exhale, go ahead and press back and round it and look towards your navel. Okay. Inhale, arch and look up. Meow. Exhale, go ahead and press back and round in. Pull towards your navel. Beautiful, guys. So we're floating, right? We have some fun with it. Inhale up. Arch. Exhale, press back. Round. Really good. One more. Inhale, pull forward and arch. So lengthen through the belly here. So we're going to stay in our arch position. We're going to inhale. Let's lift the left leg up. So one-legged cat's meows. Exhale, go ahead and pull the knee towards the nose and round in. Beautiful. Inhale, arch and open. Lengthen the leg up, look up. Nice. Exhale, go ahead and round in, knee to nose. Let that feel good. Inhale, lift. Open up. Beautiful. Exhale, round in. One more time. Inhale, lift. So what we're going to do is we're going to look back. Make sure you hook your foot on the outside of the swing, outside in. So we always hook outside in. Nice. There it is. You got it. Go ahead and pull forward a little bit more. There'll be room for the foot. That's right. There we go. We keep the foot pulled in tight towards our bum, so the knees bend a lot, and all of a sudden we're in our one-legged down dog. Now this is as far as we're going to go in a beginner, like basic series. So everything I'm teaching you is to be able to complete a 1 hour beginner class. So one-legged down dog is enough. In the advanced sequence, we learn how to straighten the leg and come into standing splits. That's just too much for beginners. They groan and grunt and complain. So, but no, that's where we're going.
Yeah.
In the basic sequence, it's really important to keep the foot in tight towards the bum. So we pull our foot down towards our bum. So press our chest back towards our standing leg, and you'll feel this amazing stretch to the right. You guys feel it? You can actually walk your foot back. Down to the back of the mat. Yeah, there you go. So it's more of a down dog than standing splits. Okay, go ahead and release that left foot down. Wag your tail, happy dog. Sway it out. Nice strong arms. Really good. Okie dokie, guys. Beautiful. So one-legged cat's meow, second side. Inhale, arch and open. Pull forward, lift that right leg up. Lift, arch. Nice. Exhale, go ahead and round and pull the knee in towards the nose. Squeeze. Inhale, lift and open. Pull your chest over your fingertips. And then exhale, go ahead and press back and round in. Squeeze. Inhale, lift, arch. Exhale, round and squeeze. One last time. Inhale, lift. So stay arched, stay lifted. So when you bend the right knee, it hooks outside in. So you're going to kick the leg loop out of the way. Bend the knee a lot and hook on the outside, the other side, honey. Outside in always. So 90% of the people are going to hook inside out. Yep, there you go. If you lift your left foot to get the other foot hooked, just bring it back down after it gets hooked. So that's a good adjustment. Really good. So for some people, they don't feel like they have the flexibility. So let's all try it together. We're going to come into a plank pose. Feet no higher than the hips or we lose our hook. Straight arms. Okay, pull your shoulders. Yeah, pull your shoulders over your wrists. And now go ahead and bend that right knee. Hook the foot. Outside in. Yes. And then after you hook, bring the left foot down and press back into our one-legged down dog. Can you feel how that was a little bit easier? So when people say they can't reach, that's one adjustment that I'll give them. But I try to do it from the ground so they feel like they can get length through the whole front of the torso, but it's okay to look too. All right, inhale, go ahead and pull forward. Release that right foot down, and we're going to come back into our plank pose. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and sway a little bit from side to side. This is called swagger, right? Whenever we sway from side to side, we get more swag in this thing. Don't bring your feet so high. Make sure they don't go higher than the hips. Otherwise, we lose our anchor. All right, and then from here, we're going to go ahead and come through center, and we're going to try some chattarungas. Now notice these chattarungas are really easy. We're going to bend the elbows in, and we're kind of mimicking the shape without putting any strain on the body, right? So these are our baby mini chaturungas. So we're going to practice hooking both feet for the next ones. We're going to bend the knees, hook both feet outside in, keep the feet nice and tight towards the bum. Yep. There you go. Pull your feet down towards your bum. Feet down towards the earth. Bend your knees a lot. Pull your feet down towards your bum. Where's your bum? There you go. Yes. Okay. So keep your feet hooked. So when I keep your feet hooked, pull your knees down, like that. Okay? Yeah. You'll just slide on out if you pull them up towards the sky. So when we go upside down, the first thing we have to do is figure out where's the sky, where's the earth. So sometimes I'll say the mat too. Pull your feet down towards the mat. So I have to give all kinds of cues because we're creating new circuitry in the brain. Okay, now walk your hands more towards the center of the mat. Just a little bit. And then bend the elbows. And then you'll feel the chaturangas are nice and strong. Right? So that's how you make your chaturangas harder. And then if you walk your hands to the very center of the mat, you end up doing handstand push-ups. And those are the hardest ones. So we're pushing straight up and down, right? So after doing a few of those, which are really hard, we're going to go ahead and come down onto our forearms. Bring the crown of the head to the earth. So we're creating a tripod. We're releasing our fingers. And all of a sudden we wind up in our headstand. So this is how we gracefully come into a supported headstand. And we can release our feet and pull our knees together. And then our knees are going to pull down towards our chest. And that's another version of headstand where we don't have to have our feet hooked. Let's try that and see if you like it. Let's hang out here for 5 more deep breaths before we take our little break. See if you can find just the right amount of engaged but relaxed so the spine can open. Can you feel how this is like our first inversion? Right, so we're letting the spine traction out of the pelvis, putting our head towards the ground, and when we pull our knees together, it spreads the sacrum. So it's one of the few poses where we can actually lengthen through the lower back as well. Everybody doing good? You guys look amazing. Awesome. And this is how we're going to come out. Okay, we're going to start to straighten the legs towards the earth. Go ahead and lengthen the arms out. Let your feet land. We're back in our down dog. Happy dog. Wag the tail. Sway it out a little bit. You'll notice your hip flexors are over it. Right? And I just wanted to show you one last pose that we can do from chaturangas. So it's also called plank, right? So we can bring our feet level with the earth and then knee to elbow. Can just sway a little bit from side to side, so we pull ourselves forward, and it's just the knee towards the elbow. Let your body rock. Yeah, keep your arms straight if you can. Nice, guys. So then you're going to have to try practicing keeping your feet much lower to the earth, towards the mat, so they keep floating up. Can you feel that? Yeah, beautiful, Sam. That's perfect alignment. And then try what I call the leapfrog, which is popping up into a crow pose when you do both knees. It's a little intense. Right? Isn't that amazing? A little supported crow is good for everyone. Nice.
So you're going to land it.
Yeah. Oh, no, back again. All right. Go ahead and land it in a down dog one more time. Shake it out. Shake out the leg, shake out the hair. Shake. thoughts, and then we're going to walk it forward. So just watch me as you come up. So I walk my feet forward. I come up on the diagonal. I open my arms like wings. Walk forward the other way. Yeah. And then hold on to the swing to come up. So angel wings to come up will keep the pendulum, the tension on the swing. Now you can just come up. Most people will just come straight up, but then you lose that support through the back. So it's just fun to come up through angel wings too. Okay? That's a nice comfortable place for us to pause and